You're sitting in traffic, running late for an important meeting, and you can feel your heart rate climbing. Your shoulders tense up, your breathing becomes shallow, and that familiar knot forms in your stomach. The stress response is kicked in, flooding your system with cortisol and adrenaline. And you know that even after the traffic clears and the meeting ends, you'll probably carry this tension with you for hours, maybe even days. What if I told you that there's a way to hit the reset button on stress in real time? What if you could activate your body's built-in anti-stress mechanism so effectively that within minutes you could shift from fight or flight mode to a state of calm alertness? What if the key to rapid stress relief isn't found in a pill bottle or a meditation app, but in a single nerve that most people have never heard of? This is the story of the vagus nerve reset, a revolutionary approach to stress management that works faster than traditional relaxation techniques because it targets the very root of your stress response system. This isn't about managing stress or coping with it better. This is about actually interrupting the stress cascade at its source and redirecting your nervous system toward healing and restoration in real time. The vagus nerve is the longest cranial nerve in your body, stretching from your brainstem down through your neck, chest, and into your abdomen. It's the primary pathway of your parasympathetic nervous system, the branch of your autonomic nervous system responsible for rest, digestion, healing, and recovery. When your vagus nerve is functioning optimally, it acts like a biological brake pedal capable of quickly downregulating your stress response and returning your body to a state of balance. But here's what most people don't understand about stress. The reason it feels so overwhelming and persistent isn't because you're weak or because you don't know how to relax. It's because your vagus nerve has become weakened, suppressed, or dysregulated by the demands of modern life. Without a properly functioning vagus nerve to apply the brakes, your stress response system runs wild, keeping you trapped in a state of chronic sympathetic activation long after the initial stressor has passed. Think of your nervous system like a car with two pedals. The gas pedal is your sympathetic nervous system, which activates your fight or flight response. And the brake pedal is your parasympathetic nervous system, controlled primarily by the vagus nerve. In a healthy nervous system, these two systems work together seamlessly. When you encounter a stressor, the gas pedal activates to help you respond appropriately. Once the threat passes, the brake pedal engages to bring you back to baseline. But what happens when your brake pedal isn't working properly? You end up with a car that can accelerate just fine, but can't slow down. This is exactly what's happening in millions of people's nervous systems right now. Their stress response activates normally, but their vagus nerve isn't strong enough to bring them back down, so they remain stuck in a state of chronic stress activation. The concept of a vagus nerve reset is based on the understanding that this nerve is highly adaptable and responsive to specific stimuli. Unlike other aspects of your nervous system that change slowly over time, the vagus nerve can be activated within seconds through targeted techniques. When you know how to stimulate your vagus nerve effectively, you can literally interrupt a stress response in progress and redirect your nervous system toward calm and recovery. This isn't just theoretical. It's backed by decades of research in neuroscience and polyvagal theory. Dr. Stephen Porges, who developed polyvagal theory, has shown that the vagus nerve doesn't just control basic functions like heart rate and digestion. It's intimately involved in your ability to feel safe, to connect with others, and to regulate your emotional responses. When you learn to activate your vagus nerve on command, you're essentially learning to control your body's fundamental stress response system. The beauty of vagus nerve reset techniques is their immediacy. Traditional stress management approaches often take time to show effects. You might need to meditate for 20 minutes to feel calmer, or exercise for 30 minutes to burn off stress hormones. But vagus nerve activation can begin working within 30 seconds to 2 minutes. Because you're directly stimulating the nerve pathways that control your stress response. Let me walk you through what happens in your body during a properly executed vagus nerve reset. When you use specific techniques to stimulate your vagus nerve, several things happen simultaneously. Your heart rate begins to slow down and become more variable, which is a sign of healthy nervous system function. Your breathing naturally deepens and slows. Your blood pressure decreases. Your digestive system reactivates. Your muscles begin to relax. Stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline start to clear from your system, while healing hormones like oxytocin and endorphins increase. But perhaps most importantly, your brain receives signals through the vagus nerve that it's safe to stop the stress response. Remember, about 80% of vagal communication flows from your body to your brain, not the other way around. This means that when you activate your vagus nerve through physical techniques, you're literally sending safety signals to your brain, telling it that the threat has passed and it's okay to relax. This is why vagus nerve reset techniques work so much faster than trying to think your way out of stress. You're not trying to convince your mind to calm down while your body is still in fight or flight mode. You're changing your body's state first, which then naturally changes your mental and emotional state. One of the most powerful and accessible vagus nerve reset techniques is controlled breathing, but not just any breathing exercise. The specific pattern that most effectively stimulates the vagus nerve involves extending your exhale longer than your inhale, particularly when you breathe out slowly through pursed lips or while making a humming sound. This type of breathing directly activates the parasympathetic nervous system and can shift your nervous system state within 1 to 2 minutes. Here's why this works. Your vagus nerve is intimately connected to your respiratory system. When you breathe in, your heart rate naturally speeds up slightly. When you breathe out, especially when you extend the exhale, your heart rate slows down. This is called respiratory sinus arrhythmia, and it's a sign of healthy vagal function. By consciously extending your exhales, you're strengthening this natural rhythm and directly stimulating vagal activation. But breathing is just one tool in the vagus nerve reset toolkit. Cold exposure is another incredibly powerful vagal stimulator that can interrupt stress responses almost immediately. When you expose your face, neck, or body to cold water or cold air, it triggers what's called the dive response, an ancient physiological mechanism that immediately activates the parasympathetic nervous system. This is why splashing cold water on your face when you're stressed isn't just an old wives' tale. It's actually stimulating your vagus nerve and triggering a rapid shift from sympathetic to parasympathetic activation. The cold exposure doesn't need to be extreme or prolonged. Even 30 seconds of cold water on your wrists, face, or the back of your neck can begin to activate the vagal response. The dive response is particularly interesting because it represents one of the most rapid ways your body can shift from stress to calm. When mammals dive underwater, they need to immediately conserve oxygen and slow their metabolic rate. The vagus nerve orchestrates this response, rapidly slowing heart rate, redirecting blood flow, and shifting the entire nervous system into a conservation mode. You can trigger this same response with simple cold exposure, even when you're nowhere near water. Vocaliz, a DION, is another remarkably effective vagus nerve reset technique. Your vagus nerve innervates the muscles of your throat, larynx, and vocal cords. When you hum, sing, chant, gargle, or even do vocal toning exercises, you're directly stimulating vagal pathways. This is why many people instinctively hum when they're trying to self-soothe, or why singing can be so emotionally regulating. You're literally activating your parasympathetic nervous system through vocalization. The Om sound used in many meditation traditions is particularly effective because the Vibration resonates through your chest and throat in ways that strongly stimulate the vagus nerve. But you don't need to chant Om to get the benefits. Simply humming a tune, gargling with water, or even doing exaggerated yawning can activate vagal pathways and begin to shift your nervous system state. Physical movement, particularly gentle rhythmic movements, can also serve as powerful vagus nerve reset tools. Yoga has been shown to significantly increase vagal tone, but you don't need a full yoga session to get benefits. Simple neck rolls, gentle spinal movements, or even rhythmic swaying can help activate the parasympathetic nervous system. The key is movement that feels soothing rather than stimulating. Movement that helps you feel more connected to your body rather than more activated. Progressive muscle relaxation works partly through vagal stimulation. When you consciously tense and then release muscle groups throughout your body, you're essentially teaching your nervous system the difference between tension and relaxation. The release phase of progressive muscle relaxation activates parasympathetic pathways and can help reset your stress response system. But here's where the vagus nerve reset becomes really powerful. You can combine multiple techniques for even more rapid and effective results. For example, you might combine extended exhale breathing with cold exposure by breathing slowly while splashing cold water on your face. Or you might combine humming with gentle movement by humming while doing slow neck rolls. These combinations can create what researchers call stacking effects, where multiple vagal stimuli work together to create more profound nervous system shifts. The timing of vagus nerve reset techniques is crucial for maximum effectiveness. The earlier you intervene in a stress response, the easier it is to redirect. If you can catch stress in the first few minutes of activation, before it fully cascades through your system, vagus nerve reset techniques can be incredibly effective. But even if you've been stressed for hours or days, these techniques can still help break the cycle and begin the process of nervous system recovery. One of the most important aspects of vagus nerve reset that people often miss is the concept of safety. Your vagus nerve is constantly scanning your internal and external environment for signs of safety or threat. If you're trying to activate your parasympathetic nervous system while you're in an environment that feels unsafe, or while you're focused on threatening thoughts, it's much harder to achieve a true reset. This is why vagus nerve reset techniques work best when you can combine them with environmental and mental safety cues. This might mean finding a quiet, comfortable space, or it might mean consciously directing your attention towards something that feels safe and pleasant while you're doing the technique. The more your system feels safe, the more readily your vagus nerve will respond to stimulation. Consistency is another key factor in developing an effective vagus nerve reset practice. While these techniques can work immediately, their effectiveness increases dramatically with regular practice. People who practice vagus nerve stimulation daily often find that they can achieve deeper states of calm more quickly, and that their baseline stress levels decrease over time. Not think of it like training any other aspect of your physiology. If you want to get stronger, you lift weights regularly, and over time, you can lift heavier weights with less effort. If you want to develop better vagal tone and more effective stress reset capabilities, you practice vagus nerve stimulation regularly, and over time, you can achieve deeper states of calm with less effort. The research on vagal tone and stress resilience is particularly compelling. People with higher vagal tone recover more quickly from stress, have better emotional regulation, stronger immune function, and greater overall resilience. They're not necessarily exposed to less stress, but they're much better at returning to baseline after stress occurs. This is the difference between stress resilience and stress avoidance. Developing the capacity to recover quickly rather than trying to eliminate all stressors from your life. What's particularly exciting about vagus nerve reset techniques is that they can be used anywhere, anytime, without any special equipment or preparation. You can do extended exhale breathing in a meeting, splash cold water on your face in a bathroom, or hum quietly to yourself while walking. These aren't techniques that require you to retreat from your life. They're tools you can integrate into your daily activities. The workplace applications alone are revolutionary. Instead of carrying stress from one meeting to the next, accumulating tension throughout the day, you can use quick vagus nerve reset techniques between activities to return to baseline. This prevents stress from building up and creating the kind of chronic activation that leads to burnout and health problems. Many people find that learning vagus nerve reset techniques changes their entire relationship with stress. Instead of feeling helpless when stress arises, they have concrete tools to take immediate action. Instead of needing to wait until they get home to unwind, they can begin the unwinding process in real time. This sense of agency and control over their stress response can be profoundly empowering. The social implications are equally important. When your vagus nerve is functioning well, you're more capable of social engagement, empathy, and connection with others. Stress tends to make us more self-focused and less able to attune to others. When you can reset your nervous system quickly, you maintain your capacity for healthy social interaction, even during challenging periods. This is particularly relevant for parents, caregivers, and anyone in helping professions. When you're stressed, it's much harder to be present and supportive for others. When you can quickly reset your nervous system, you maintain your capacity to show up fully for the people who depend on you. The immune system benefits of vagus nerve reset are also significant. Chronic stress suppresses immune function, making you more susceptible to illness and slower to recover from injuries or infections. The vagus nerve plays a crucial role in regulating immune responses and reducing inflammation. When you can effectively reset your stress response, you're supporting your immune system's ability to function optimally. Sleep quality is another area where vagus nerve reset techniques can have immediate and profound effects. Many people struggle with sleep because their nervous system is still activated from the day's stressors. Using vagus nerve reset techniques before bed can help shift your system into the parasympathetic state that's necessary for deep, restorative sleep. The digestive benefits are equally important. Stress shuts down digestive function because your body prioritizes immediate survival over long-term maintenance. Chronic stress can lead to digestive issues, nutrient malabsorption, and gut health problems. When you can effectively reset your stress response, you allow your digestive system to function properly, which has cascading effects on overall health. Pain management is another surprising application of vagus nerve reset techniques. Chronic pain often involves nervous system dysregulation, where the pain response system becomes overactive. Vagus nerve stimulation can help modulate pain signals and reduce the nervous system activation that often amplifies pain experiences. Mental health applications are perhaps the most profound. Anxiety, depression, and many other mental health challenges involve nervous system dysregulation. While vagus nerve reset techniques aren't a substitute for professional mental health treatment, they can be incredibly powerful complementary tools that help stabilize the nervous system and create the physiological foundation for emotional well-being. The beauty of understanding vagus nerve reset is that it gives you a scientific framework for understanding why certain activities feel so naturally calming and restorative. Singing in the shower, taking deep breaths during stressful moments, laughing with friends, getting a massage, spending time in nature. All of these activities naturally stimulate the vagus nerve and activate your parasympathetic nervous system. But when you understand the mechanism behind these effects, you can be much more intentional and strategic about using them. Instead of randomly hoping that something will help you feel better, you can consciously choose techniques that you know will activate your body's natural stress reset mechanisms. The key to developing an effective vagus nerve reset practice is experimentation and personalization. Different techniques work better for different people, and what works best for you might vary depending on the situation and the level of stress you're experiencing. Some people respond more strongly to breathing techniques, others to cold exposure, others to vocalization or movement. The goal is to develop a toolkit of techniques that you can draw from as needed and to practice them regularly enough that they become second nature. When stress arises, you want these techniques to be so familiar that you can implement them automatically without having to think through the steps or remember what to do. This is where the real power of vagus nerve reset lies, not just in having techniques that work, but in developing the kind of nervous system resilience that allows you to navigate life's challenges with greater ease and recover more quickly. When things get difficult, it's about building a foundation of physiological stability that supports whatever else you're doing to manage stress and maintain your well-being. The future of stress management likely lies in this kind of precise, targeted approach to nervous system regulation. As we develop better tools for measuring vagal tone and understanding individual nervous system patterns, we'll probably see stress management become more personalized and more effective. But the basic principles of vagus nerve reset are available right now, and they represent one of the most powerful and accessible approaches to rapid stress relief that we've ever discovered. Your vagus nerve is waiting to serve as your personal stress reset button. It's been there all along, faithfully working to maintain your body's balance and help you recover from life's challenges. With the right knowledge and techniques, you can learn to activate this remarkable system consciously and effectively, giving yourself the power to stop stress fast and return to a state of calm, clarity, and resilience whenever you need it most.